All right, guys, welcome. And I just want to say, I hope for you that you had an amazing 2019, like I did. And, despite it being filled with good, bad, painful, and challenging things, but overall, a good year. I really hope that for you. But if it wasn't, good news is that this year is coming to an end, and we will be starting a new year in 2020, and it's just around the corner tomorrow, tonight at midnight. So that's the good thing, and you get to start all over, a new slate and a new journey, and not only with the year, but also with becoming a part of the Speak Your Life community. And I am so privileged and excited to be with you on this journey, this new journey that we are embarking on together to get closer to finding our why, to get closer to finding our purpose. I just want to wish you and your family a happy new year and all the best in 2020. All right, well, since this is called the Speak Your Life podcast, and I will be conducting several interviews throughout this podcast and talking on various subjects and different matters, I want to start out by speaking my life and sharing my story with you guys so that we can connect on a more personal basis. And I don't want to just have a podcast just out there and you not know who I am, at least a little bit of who I am and about my story and where I came from, where I am and where I'm going. So here we go. Enjoy. All right, so it was a cold Saturday on February 5th, 1994 that I was born in College Park, Georgia, raised in Fayetteville, Georgia as the oldest of three. You know, I always felt a sense of responsibility, really the most weight of responsibility growing up as the oldest naturally. And so I will say that I was very blessed in my childhood growing up with two amazing parents, but there were honestly some challenges that we all faced and dealt with as any family would, from sibling rivalries to my parents separating at various times, and even me having to step up as the man of the household when those times came. And at times, I did struggle with identity and what groups I was accepted in high school because of the way that I talked, my mannerisms, how I carried myself, getting called white boy, and many other names. But anyways, I will say I was mad awkward when it came to the ladies, and I wasn't really that great at sports. I did have fun being on the track and cross-country teams at Sandy Creek High School, and all throughout high school, my mom kept nagging me to attend Harding University. My answer was always a resounding no, since I was so set on following my dad's footsteps at the Ohio State University, and also really liked their football team, which I still do, but I had a terrible reason for why I wanted to go to that school. Until I finally stopped inheriting my parents' faith and got serious about my own spiritual journey, I started applying to all schools, Christian colleges, whatever, and I even decided to shoot my shot in an Ivy League, that being Dartmouth. And despite having below average grades, I was giving a no thank you, which was not really a surprise. But the one I really wanted was Pepperdine University. Yes, the one in Malibu, California, overlooking the Santa Monica Hills near the Pacific Ocean. That one. I was absolutely devastated when I got that denial letter the day before senior prom. Unfortunately, I allowed that to destroy my attitude the last semester of my senior year as I fell out of touch with my surroundings and the people in it. It was in fall of 2012 that I reluctantly enrolled at this Harding University my mom kept talking about, some Christian liberal arts school in Searcy, Arkansas, with a population of 22,000 people, and highlight being Walmart on the weekends. It was just about 45 minutes from her hometown of Little Rock. So she got what she wanted. Needless to say, it was actually the best place for me. I led and was a part of various organizations on campus, got to go on spring break mission trips, and studied abroad and made amazing friends during my time there. I was also part of the work-study program, like most kids who weren't on a full-ride scholarship. When it came to my major, I really was so determined to be an econ major, and I could see myself as the next Wolf on Wall Street. But no, I really liked econ, but I didn't really love it. And when I really, at the time, didn't know how to be honest, but I finally, as time passed, I had to be honest because all I was doing is really impressing two people. One, my mentor, who now works on Wall Street, is making stupid money, the kind of money that a doctor would look back and be like, "Wow, am I in the right profession?" But anyways, and the other person I really wanted to impress was my father. But it all came crashing down, that dream of being the Wolf on Wall Street, when I encountered the managerial finance course with Dr. E, and it made me realize that I was not cut out for this stuff. I was not cut out for this major at all. And the moment that really was a great turning point in my life and helped me to reach step one of what I like to call my why journey was when I was in between majors and I had a run-in with a communication professor who asked me about what I was passionate about. As you could tell, I was struggling with my classes and how I answered him, stuttering and giving him, the runaround and just about what I wanted to do with my life, trying to make it seem like something great. But he ended up just suggesting that I check out communication classes. Noticing the books I had in my arms, including 92 Ways to Talk to Anyone and the Defensive Book of Body Language. And I wasn't even reading those books for a grade. I just did it for fun. What a freaking nerd. But anyways, from that point, I took his suggestion and soaked up all the courses in communication. Not mass comm, but oral comm. Very specific and odd, in my personal opinion. But whatever. I fell in love with it, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But something about this move felt right, and so I acted swiftly. It was at this moment in my life I knew that I didn't want to just have some job and work in a cubicle, but rather I wanted to live on purpose, and I wanted to live out my why. Fast forward to the end of my super senior year. Yes, I had 5 years at college, and at this point I gained so much confidence in my studies and communication, but just was not sure as to how I'd apply this knowledge. From holding an internship at a local advertising firm to having two jobs, one as being American Reads assistant, helping kids learn reading and comprehension skills, to working at the campus gymnasium and never actually remembering a single day that I worked out there. These opportunities are what taught me that I really didn't want to be a teacher, social media marketer, or anything related to athletics. Graduation ceremony finally came. Man, that confetti was popping, and somehow I found myself as an alumnus of Harding University. I didn't know what was next in my journey. However, I just knew I loved traveling and talking to people. So after I worked a few jobs, from restaurant cashier to brand ambassador for a bunch of retailers and delivering food. And oh, did I mention I worked in sales for a hot minute? Well, now I did. So I got to the turning point in my college where I got to the first step of my calling. But after graduating college and having all these various work experiences, I finally reached step 2 of my why journey, which is applying the things that I found to be non-negotiable in my life, which I like to call my faves. That's freedom, autonomy, and variety. With my freedom, I love being able to travel, have a flexibility to see friends and family and my loved ones, and just being able to cultivate relationships. 2, autonomy. I did not see myself wanting to be in an environment where I had some boss, supervisor, manager, whoever hanging over my shoulder as I did what I needed to do to get the work done. I want to add my own style, flavor, swagger to it to make it the best, work, customer service or whatever. And so the last thing is a sense of variety. I knew, like I said, I didn't want to see myself, or I didn't see myself in a cubicle job in 20, 30, 40 years, in no shade to the people who are or who have already done that, but I know for me personally, I just didn't see myself doing that. And so, yes, you guessed correctly. I'm not only an ENFP on the Myers-Briggs, but I'm also a 7 on the Enneagram. That's me. And if you don't know what the Enneagram or the Myers-Briggs is, look it up on Google. You might find it to be a very interesting quiz when you check it out and see what your personality profile is, and DM me when you do that. That led me to the airline industry and helped me to find what I call job joy. For the first time in my life, I have now been a flight attendant for over a year and a half now. Basically, anything that a millennial does for over a year is considered success in today's age. Sadly, but it is the absolute truth. But being at this job that I really love has now led me to step 3 of my why journey. And that's being able to create a platform that I could share with you all stories and lessons from myself and others to help encourage you to get closer to your purpose and to get closer to the reason you were born on this planet. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. If there's any questions or anything maybe that you related to my story, feel free to reach out on Instagram at SpeakYourLyfe. DM me at any time. And again, if you want to know more about the Myers-Briggs or the Enneagram, I definitely got the hookups on that for you. It's a very interesting and very, I would say, practical and valuable tool that you can use when it comes to getting closer to finding your purpose and finding the right career for you. And so, again, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. Thanks again for listening to this episode, and we will see you on the next episode. Love you guys. Take care.